One thing I've been thinking about this past week is from this book called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. There's one specific example in that book that really resonated with me. It talked about the creation of the product Febreze and how Procter and Gamble essentially preyed on the human psychology of cravings. So this product really, I wouldn't say it came out of nowhere, but it really showed how much impact your senses go into uh, what you crave, and I think craving would be considered as a very uh, powerful item in our human psyche. So in the book, they talked about how Febreze started out as a scentless product and that it would eliminate odors. The product didn't take off as the company hoped, and it was only until they introduced a fresh scent that the product started taking off. I believe the reason behind that is our sense of smell. I believe that the sense of smell was the biggest contributor to the success of this product. After every spray of Febreze, all of a sudden you would associate that with a cleaner room or fresher smelling clothes. I wanted to bring this up because for something to be enjoyable or for something to stick into your mind, you first have to crave it. And to crave something, you have to find something that you enjoy doing or something that you look forward to. For me, what I crave is I want to be I want to be stronger. I want to be faster. I want to be more nimble than I was yesterday. Seeing how I used to be and moving forward is something that I always think about after each training session. Now, this craving didn't come all at once. It's it's a very gradual it's a very gradual thing, just like training. And to be aware of your cravings and keep that in your head, something that I practice daily, and going forward I always try to figure out how can I take make my life how can I take one step forward in the right direction. Like, even if I derail here and there, if I'm still heading to the right direction, what difference does that make as long as I'm making that initial progression? When I was younger, I had no clue about how cravings work, and my relationship with food. I didn't see food as supplement for my body. I only satisfied any cravings that I had, whether it would be eating very highly palatable foods or over consuming without even thinking about the repercussions of my actions. And it wasn't until a couple years into my training where I started seeing food as a supplement to my training progress, and and thinking about back then, I used to have very strong cravings for highly palatable foods. I mean, I still do, but nowadays they're more controlled, and being aware of when I put these types of food in my body is very pivotal in the progression of my training regimen. I believe that cravings can be trained, and one tip that I have on cravings is to disassociate your cravings based on other factors. One example that I have in my head is that typically after a meal, there always comes a dessert. But who's to say that that the dessert is needed? Uh, we're only conditioned in our society to have dessert after a meal as a treat. But let's say you can change that and maybe have dessert after every meal, maybe less frequently. And let's say you're doing it for a week, and you change it to 3 times a week, or maybe even two. After those small gradual changes, you can eventually make it only once a week, and you can even take it even further and have it once a month. There's really no limit as to how much you can push your cravings. My training schedule this week has been fairly well. My repetitions have definitely increased, and the weight increases have been gradual. I've been having trouble waking up at the same time in the morning, and I'm not sure what the problem lies, but it seems that the mindset on getting out of bed is a little bit more difficult this week around. But all my workouts have been about, I would say, an hour to an hour and a half, and I feel that that's enough. Also incorporate 4 runs this week, with one with my sister and also my cousin's dogs. I do want to incorporate one or two speed runs during the week, and then majority of the other runs would be volume, just depending on my time constraint and how I'm feeling for the day. I definitely have to make sure I'm mentally ready for each and every run and training session, because I think that mindset is very pivotal in my performance. I'm not saying that I would skip if I wasn't in a good mental state. It's just I may run more or less just depending on how my body's feeling and whether I'm up for the challenge. I included one snippet of my tennis training session with my cousin. We just rallied a little bit, and I think this is the best rally that we got. That was it for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one.